dribble it deep to Brockie. Brockie with a chance to volley! Jeremy Brockie, 2-all!
Yes, he was one of the Kiwis' best in the inaugural A-League season, scoring a vital late equaliser against Sydney in round 16. And in a real twist of fate, we can now reveal he will be lining up for the Champions next season after agreeing to terms earlier this week. And I am pleased to say Jeremy Brockie joins us right now. Jeremy, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
What a move. 18 years of age still, not 19 till October. So what a move for you. But obviously on the surface, we know the reasons. You know, championship club, highest profile club. Yeah. But for you personally, what was behind the move?
Yeah, it took a lot of time and to make my decision. I've waited a long time since the end of the season now. But I wanted to be at the club that's going to give me a good opportunity to develop my career after the A-League, like hopefully make it to the English Premier League. And I needed a coaching staff that's going to help me develop that. And obviously Sydney being the champions as well, that's got to be some point, doesn't it? Yeah,
indeed. So you were being chased by Perth and Newcastle and probably one or two other clubs as well behind those. But Sydney FC, I believe, a 2-year deal. So is that the way it pans out?
Yeah, 2-year deal. Here for 2 years in the big city of Sydney.
Yes.
How excited are you then? If you look at their side, obviously Dwight York was a massive draw card here. Yeah. They had a fantastic end to the season, culminating in their victory in the grand final. So you must be very excited to be working with some of the best players in the country.
Yeah, that's part of my decision as well. Just even if I'm not playing game times, I'm still training with quality players every day. And I will learn a lot of the likes of Dwight York and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, it was a difficult season with the New Zealand Knights, but it must have been still quite difficult to pull away from your roots.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. Took a lot of talk to quite a few people and making my decision and stuff. And but New Zealand, the Knights have been good for me the last season, but I've got to move on.
Even following on from that, I mean, we've seen Jeremy Christie go to Perth already, yourself now, and Caravella, we think, on his way to Queensland. Did they leave you with very little choice to stay there, given you didn't win a game at home, and now the young players, the promising players, all seem to be moving on?
Yeah, that's right. I suppose, well, I hope they do well next season, turns things around. The new coach Paul Nevin, I've had a couple of chats to him, and he seems like he's going down the right track. So hopefully they do make changes and do better than last year.
But even at your young age, you would have seen pretty much clear cut, and they have admitted this, that the building was all wrong. Too many players perhaps past their best coming from the UK, and I guess not enough players like yourself. Yeah,
like you say, there is a few older players in the team. I just don't think we underestimated the quality that the A-League was going to be this season. And like I've said, they need to build their team bigger and stronger for next season now.
Sure. Jeremy, it took you a while to get into the side over there at the Knights, but when you came in, you were a real feature. In all the games, you were outstanding for the Knights. You played a lot on the right-hand side as a right wing-back at times as well, or pushing forward into the midfield. What's your preferred position?
I do like playing wide midfield in a 4-4-2 sort of formation, more attacking.
Not the right back then, so
not the right wing back. I don't really fancy myself defending, but if I'm just happy to be playing, and wherever the coach does put me, I've got to do a job.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you're a very attacking player, and it was highlighted by that great goal against Sydney. One thing I want to ask you, Rob, and we debate. This debate's going to go on for a long time about New Zealand. Now, the thinking already, you know, they could probably finish at the bottom of the pack again in the second season, but maybe a point or two up their sleeve, because if they're tailed off, I think the patience from the FFA and plenty of others will run out again.
Look, I think it's been made clear by the FFA that they're not going to accept another season like this, and I think it's been pretty much documented that, and John Adshed even said, and we know what a great fella he is and how honest he is, that they underestimated the level of the league. The worrying sign for me is guys like the guy sitting next to me, Jeremy Brockie, Jeremy Christie going to Perth, and you mentioned Caravella. You know, three of the their best players last season, and they've already sort of lost them. So,
what a great start, isn't it? Yeah.
Talked to Darren Baisley and Neil Emblem at the awards night on Monday night, and they were saying that there's only 6 players on the books at the moment. So, look, I don't know where they're going to find the players when they're losing their best players. We've already said that they should be top heavy with Kiwi players to get that national pride, but they're already losing them. So, look, it's already worrying.
Jeremy, is that the message for New Zealand football, to try and drag more Kiwi players back, both young and with a bit of experience?
Yeah, I look in the NZFC, which I'm playing in at the moment, and there's quality players in that league that I think I've got no decision who picks the Knights, obviously, but I think they can step up and do a job in this A-League. Just a couple of players that come to the top of my head.
Do you think that's the better option for the New Zealand Knights, is to have more Kiwi players, because it's a Kiwi side and you build that pride around. You always love beating Aussies over there. There's no doubt about that.
No, it would be good to see more Kiwis in the side, and I think maybe more of a fan base will come in as well. I don't know, but just to see more Kiwis on the field will help the club.
Tell us about the frustration among the troops, because Rob mentioned the tough work, or the tough road John Adshead had with his illness, and just not being able to win in front of your home fans. I mean, that's I guess a deep-seated frustration that I guess you go out every week, try and put it behind you, and try and put on a performance. Yeah,
it is frustrating, and I feel sorry for the crowd, the ones that they do turn up. We really were trying in those last 3 or 4 home games to try and get a win for them, but just didn't come. We had a couple of late draws at the end, but yeah.
It's ironic that your best goal of the season was the one against Sydney, and here you've signed for Sydney FC. It was a nice strike, I suppose. I had
you can give it a rap.
Nah, I don't like doing that. Nah.
Listen, you talked about signing at Sydney FC, and you mentioned the English Premier League. So what's the plan for Jeremy Brockie? You like to stay in Sydney. You've obviously signed 2 years, and then you want to go and play overseas. Yeah,
I do. I want to have a good, strong 2 years. 2 years here with Sydney in the A-League, and then progress it from there. Hopefully is to get into England Premier League.
I'll throw this one open, starting with you, Rob. Sydney, the signing now of...
Well, there's a slight difference in age, so I hope it's a question we can both answer.
But the attitude from Sydney FC, Alex Brosk has gone there, of course, now Jeremy Brockie. There seems to be, despite winning the crown, a real attitude towards more youthful exuberance in their playing ranks.
Payson, has been a lot of talk, Pierre Litbarski. We haven't got confirmed staying, but the signs are good that he will be staying for Sydney FC. He's talked about Jonty Richter, another young player from Queensland Roar, with a lot of pace, and I think that's the players he's brought in. Jeremy here, Alex Brosk, and if Jonty Richter was one of those sort of players, all those players, very, very fast players. And maybe that's something that they did lack a little bit throughout the side in this first season, given that they were champions. But there was maybe a little bit of a lack of pace. He's signalling that he wants to start branching out and getting the younger players, very, very fast players.
Zadkovic as well, just re-signed for 2 more seasons.
He was already there. But when he came in, and he didn't start the grand final, but the games leading up to some very important performances, the goal in Perth, making a goal against Adelaide in the major semi-final, he was fantastic in the way that he injected pace into the side.
Did you get that feeling, Jeremy, when you were discussing terms with Sydney, that they were really looking for more youngsters, more pace, and more quicker, younger motors in the team?
Quicker.
Younger.
It's good to see that they're getting a couple of younger players in the side as well to learn, I suppose, off experienced players like Corica and York and the rest of the older players. And it's good. I can't wait.
Is it fair to say New Zealand just totally misjudged the pace of the A-League, or the tempo of the A-League when you got onto the pitch as a squad?
Yeah, I think so. A couple of games as well, we just didn't gel as a team, I suppose, and sad, frustrating, but hopefully they can turn it around next season.
Now listen, you've got some great things in New Zealand to look forward to. Of course, you're playing with Canterbury at the moment, up until May, because June 1st you start training with Sydney FC. But you've got some internationals coming up.
Yeah, we
do.
The
All Whites against Brazil, we hear.
Yeah, we're going off to... Well, the squad hasn't been picked, obviously, yet, but the All Whites are going over to Switzerland in early June to play against the world champions Brazil before...
you must be hoping that might come off for you.
Hopefully I can get over there and just chase Ronaldinho around for the last 2 minutes to get a shirt.
Well, I'll tell you what you can do the Australians a bit of a favour. If you get in amongst all those Brazilians, starting with Ronaldinho.
Give him a bit of a kick.
Just give him a little tap, nothing too nasty, but a little tap just to throw them off their way before the World Cup comes along.
Yeah, a few people have already said that to me, actually, a few Australians, so see what I can do.
Fair enough. Just to wind it up, Jeremy, you go back to New Zealand, of course, and I believe mid-year, June 1, is that when things officially start rolling with Sydney FC?
Yeah, that's officially at 1st of June. I'll be over here and looking forward to it. Can't wait.
They tell you Dwight and Pierre will definitely be back? Anyone slip that into the argument?
They didn't say no.
All right, well, good luck. It's a great move for you, as I mentioned earlier. Still 18 years of age and Sydney to look forward to. So a great signing and all the very best.
Yeah, all the best, Jeremy. All
Cheers.
the best, mate.
Thank you.
Good luck with the Ronaldinho shirt as well.
Yes, indeed.